Okay, friends, subscribers, and people of the world, and all you YouTube watchers, spread the word about this video. What this video is going to prove that there are cities on the moon. This is a second video about cities on the moon. This is actually a recent addition to Google Moon, and it's the Tycho crater. They've now made it so that the resolution is almost peak perfect. Whilst I was actually looking at the Tycho crater, I just zooming around and having a look at it because it's a new addition to it, and I noticed something. I noticed what looked to be cities, similar to what I was seeing over in the on the dark side, but this was where the city was more intense. Was on the shaded side of the crater. In other words, it gets mostly shade all the time. It's protected from the sunlight the most. And what I started seeing was the cities again. But notice where the north is. Notice it's also in the direction that these cities go in. And I started noticing that wherever these squares were appearing, and it's not just pixelation, folks, trust me, this is not pixelation. Look at the pixelation to the side there down on the bottom left hand corner. It's quite small. Yet look at these are buildings quite large. That line there in that photo is over 2 kilometres. So hence that would say, okay, that's a very big city with very big buildings. I thought they were rockfalls at first, but then just something just got to me, and they're square, like at the top. Everything has got a north-south direction to it, east-west, like we do on Earth. We build buildings north, south, east, west. It is very important to us. In the pyramids, they built them north, south, east, and west. And I kept on seeing this. Now, there's quite a lot I didn't take photos of because they were rockfalls. And they appeared to be rockfalls, yet they again could still be just camouflaged cities. Now look at this. Notice the north-south. It's got a north-south, east-west directional. Again, there's big buildings, there's large buildings, but there's also streets. Now that's what really got me, is there's streets in this. And again, that area you are looking at is about 2 kilometres. Most of these cities that I measured around about a 2 kilometre photo. Before I took it, I did include the line in some of them. Now that one is actually built into the side of the cliff. And it's best to watch this in full screen, by the way, and you'll notice and see what I'm seeing. And again, that north-south direction is extremely important. And it's not the pixelation, because the pixelation is way smaller than what these buildings are appearing. Like us, they like scenic views. And again, there's the north-south direction. Look at the buildings. That one there looks like it's a tower that goes, the one to the left, sorry, looks like it's a tower building. It's got 3 or 4 different levels, and it comes in like we build those big buildings. We build them fancy, and they come in every now and then, and they look like a steeple. Yeah, there's a big building to the side of it, attached to it. It could be a church. It could be a monument. I don't know. Now this one, notice the triangular reflection from that big white building. Now, to me, that says something's going on here. And again, that town is 2 kilometres wide. There's another one up to the top, and it looks like there's farmland. Look at how all these squares are coming together. And okay, if it was pixelation, why is it north-south? Look at the section down the bottom. You tell me that is a tunnel or a bridge of some description. And again, it looks like farmland. Now, like in China, you look at the pictures of China on Google Earth and you zoom down on them. They hide them in valleys, sometimes they're on hills. We do exactly the same thing in our countries, in Australia. But look at the squareness of these buildings, of these cities. It's absolutely amazing that this north-south configuration comes into it. Now, at first I thought this one was a rockfall until I started noticing that some of these buildings are really buildings, and you can tell that they're damn well buildings. There's fences, there's dead set squares, and just things, too many things in there that says this is not a rockfall, this is a city built on a hill. And again, the same thing. Look, it's got streets, it's got everything. And again, that is 2 kilometres wide. I took each one of these photos of each section of the towns. I took a photo. Some of these are actually quite longer. There are sectional photos of the bigger city, but the widths of the city were round about 2 kilometres, if not more, wide. There was one that was 5 by 3. I think it was 5 kilometres by 3 kilometres. That's it there. That's the 5 kilometres, and it was 3 kilometres wide. And again, that is a city. They're buildings, and they really are buildings. You need to see this, and you need to zoom in on these pictures. Go and look at Google Earth yourself, and look at the Google Moon. Go to the Tycho crater. Have a look, because I can tell you now, folks, they'll do the same thing they did with the other one. They'll take it out and they'll blur it. So while you can, get over, take the photos yourself, get the proof on your computers so that they can't do what they did the last time I went public about cities on the moon, where they took the whole section of the crater out. That one didn't appear. It turned out to be a blurred image. It was taken off for 2 months while they blurred the images. They're most probably going to think that, okay, we're going to think that these are rockfalls, but okay, look at them. There's round buildings, there's square buildings, there's oblong buildings. Rocks don't fall in those patterns. And look at down there what looks to be fields. This is not natural. These are like us. They build on hill. That one actually looks like it's built into the hillside. And there is just too many anomalies. You can see windows in this shot. This one's, and again, it's a downward shot of it. Look at the buildings. There's long buildings. They're structural. They're in alignment with each other. Rocks don't fall in perfect alignment. There's no way that they do. These are buildings. They're covering up the fact that these are cities, folks. They are covering up the fact that there is life on the moon. This is why we have never returned to the moon. There's life up there, folks, and they didn't want, like we were invading. We didn't go up there. We didn't go up there and say hi. We went up there to sort of just go up there and think. We didn't contact them. Instead of going and seeing them, like if they came to us, like we shoot at UFOs all the time because they don't come and say hello. If they landed, said hello, this is who we are, we're from the moon, bang, we'd have a relationship with these people. The same way that explorers travel around the world, they make a point of introducing themselves. But when we go into space, because they're of a different being, we don't introduce ourselves. That one interested me. That reminded me of the limestone hills. That's why I took a photo of that. That looks like a picture of man and a smaller creature, and again down to another smaller creature. It looked, and as I said, it looked like the limestone hills, and so I took a photo of that one. But the thing is, there's life up there, folks. Many of us have known, not believed, known for years. Now that is a shot that of that other city I took on a different angle, just to show you that even from the other angle, you can see the structure of these streets. You can see the structure of these buildings. And they are buildings. Look to the left. That's a rockfall. Look to the top. They're square. They're oblong. You can tell the difference between a rock and a building. I can. Look at this one. This is absolutely amazing. There is too many squares. And there's circles in this one. And you've only got to look at the structure, but look at the north, south, east, west direction of these cities. Every single one of these cities has the standard building procedure that we have on Earth, north to south, east and west. north, south, east and west, even in a small town. Now, that small little town was still 1 kilometre wide. 1 kilometre across. So that says that's a pretty big little town. So what are they hiding from us, folks? They're hiding the fact that there is really, truly life upon the moon. Right, they might not have streets outside of their towns because they travel in UFOs, but they would have streets where they walk and talk with each other. Look at that. That is a major city, that one. That one was quite a few kilometres across. I think that one was 3 to 4 kilometres across and about 10 kilometres wide. But just look at the structure of it, folks. There are cities as if they're built on certain sections. They haven't built on other sections, like us. We build on hills every single day. Why would not an alien race build on hills? Again, that's that same photo. I don't know how that one's got in there twice. Sorry about that, folks. But the thing is, folks, there is life out there, and there's proof of it now. These are unblurred images. I managed to snap them and everything straight away, and it just looks like as if we're looking down on a picture of Earth. You see the squares outside the city, which are farms. Then you see the buildings within the city. You see bushy areas, and as it's been proven that there are colours on the moon, yet we're not being shown the colours. We only get shown the greyed out greyscale images, as if we're still in black and white. We're not in black and white. They're just hiding the truth, because 10 to 1, if they showed that, you would see colours. Look at it. That is a city. If you looked upon Google Earth and looked at that, straight away you'd say that's a city. Right? You wouldn't say, oh no, that's a rock fall. You'd say it's a city. It's built up. You can see it's a city. And that one's a bloody major city. There's major buildings, like in all cities, in the central district. Okay, there's a couple of hills in the middle, and then everything's built around it. That's like here on Earth. There's hilly areas, but down in the lower areas, on the flatter sections, they build cities. That's exactly what they have done here. They've built cities on the flatter sections of the hills, maybe even on some of the steeper areas. But, like us, we build on very steep areas down here, so why would they not up there? So we're talking about a civilization that has survived up there. And, oh yeah, what did I take that photo for? Oh yeah, to me that looks like a water reservoir or some kind of factory or a dam of some. That's right. It looks more like a dam. Look at it. There's two sides to that, and it looks like there's something in the middle. And I think that's a dam or a water reservoir. You can see buildings and pipelines coming into it. Now, to me, that says there's someone on the moon for sure. There is something going on. We don't know what it is because we've never been told the bloody truth. Now look at that. There, in the left-hand side, in the middle, you'll see what looks to be buildings within a yarded feature, as if it's like the old-fashioned castles where they had the buildings inside, they had the walls protecting the rich. Okay, we might have the same thing up there. That's what it looks like to me. And here we've got buildings all over the place, and I mean buildings. And on the outskirts, we've got what look to be farm sections off. And when you see them sectioned off, you look down upon any picture of Earth, you see those squared, different coloured sections that looks like pixelations when you zoom out on them. But when you zoom in, lo and behold, what do you got? Farms. Okay, so what you're looking here. Okay, look at it. Just look at the picture. There's squares, there's oblongs, there's a zigzag building right in the dead centre. Okay, that's not a rock. Okay, now look at that one. That's a tower. You can see on the bottom left-hand side, you can see what looks to be a spire coming up with the thing on the top. Look at the shadow of it, folks. They're towers. They're actual towers. That one to me looks like definite city. The shadows from them say city. like Machu Picchu. They built Machu Picchu up on a thing. How did they get there? No one knows. Maybe they were from the moon and they built the same way that they're building up on the moon, without roads. And they built it on the hill. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, actually, that one got me. This picture got me. It sort of looks like there's definitely something there. I couldn't work out what this one was. But again, I think this could be some kind of complex. That one is a face cut into the rock. A face cut into rock. There was another face a little bit further down. Oh, no, there it is. You can just see it up the top corner. There's another face cut into the rock. Similar to Mars. Actually, there were two faces on that. But there was there's the building there. That could be their, what do they call that bloody thing in America where they got their heads cut into the mountains? But again, there's another city. That small town, I think that small town was over about half a kilometre wide. But it's still north-south direction of those buildings are in the north-south bloody direction. There's something about feng shui or something about north, south, east, west that's been passed down through the centuries, and I think this is what it's all about. Like, we have north, south, east, west directions when we build our homes. And again, you zoom down on this and it looks even more like a city, but look at the street structure. That's why I did this one. I did it because of the street structures of it. But those street structures are in north, south, east, west. North, south, east and west. Rockfalls don't fall in bloody straight lines. Rockfalls don't build in north, south, east, west directions. This and the other photos I'm showing you are cities on the moon. Cities on the moon. Look at it, folks. It's a damn well city on the Tycho crater. Go to Google Moon right now, as soon as you watch this video, and look at it. Zoom in on the bloody things and make your own minds up, folks, because the only way that the truth is going to get out there is if you go and take the photos of it, Control-Alt-S yourself, and save the damn images. Control-Alt-S, Control-Alt-S, Control-Alt-S. Save as many images as you can. Look at the north, south, east, west directions. But look at this one. This, to me, says that looks like a river of some description. Zooming around a town. There's something that is a rounded section around a town. What do we have on Earth? We build cities near rivers. We know something's going on. We've known for some time that there's major cover-ups going up when it comes to the moon. Major cover-ups. Yet, again, we've had no proof. But here's your proof, folks. Cities on the moon, buildings on the moon that they haven't covered up this time. This, in my other video, you don't see the buildings as well as this because I went public before I snapped the photos, and that I made that mistake of only having the video shots of it, or what I took from a video camera. From this time, I've done it by photos, which I should have done by the first time, and you would have seen the same sort of thing, because this is what alerted me into the other thing. Go and have a look at my other videos, Cities on the Moon. It was one of my first videos uploaded. And you will see that in some sections of it, this is a pure cover-up. It's nothing more than a cover-up. But you'll see in any one of the streets, there are north, south, east, west directions. There's a complex building there. There's complex buildings in this one. And you can see there's one that looks to be a pyramid at the top, sort of into the middle. It looks almost pyramidal. But look at everything. And there's streets, folks. You can see the streets. You've only just got to look at it. And you've got to say, okay, something's going on here. What is going on? A bloody big cover-up, folks. We've been lied to. Now, that city there was, I think, was 4 kilometres in distance across. Okay, it's got hills in it, yes. But when you zoom in on that one, again, you get the same thing. You get buildings built on the side of the mountain. That's what I mean. You look at it there, it looks like a rock slide until you zoom in on the damn thing. But the moment you zoom in on it, what are you going to see? You're going to see buildings and streets in north, south, east, west directions. There it is there. Look at it. North, south, east, west. You can see the streets. You can see everything. They are not boulders. They are bloody buildings. Well, they've got streets. They've got infrastructure. You can see it. It looks like parking lots even, where they park their spacey ships next to the big supermarket. What can I say, folks? They're cities. They're nothing more than cities. If you look down at a mosaic like that on Google Earth from a distance about what we're looking at, I forgot what the elevation. Oh, okay, that's looking from a couple of kilometres up. That's exactly what you'd see on Earth. You'd see little speckly buildings. You wouldn't see good definition. You would see all the same sort of thing. Yet when you zoom in on it, you start to see the more buildings. But because they won't show us the full image, what you see is just crap. And again, I've zoomed out on this one. But in this one, you can see some of the bigger buildings. They still hold their squares even at that distance. Up the top to the right, you can see two big buildings together. And they hold that square section perfectly. Yet when you zoom in on that, what you see are streets and everything, because here's the zoomed in shot of it. You see streets, you see rectangle buildings, you see square buildings, you see the occasional circle, but mainly you see, and down there on the top right, you see terraces in the landscape. You see a big white building, you see different colour roofs. Again, that's same on Earth. You see different coloured roofs. And when you zoom out on Earth, you get the same effect. You don't see a city, you see crap. You see what looks that could be a city, but when you zoom in on it, now look at this. There is structure being cut into those mountains there. And it says something. It says that's an artificial landscape at the top middle. You can see in the bottom middle, artificial landscape. You can see parts of the town. And again, everything is in the north, south, east, west directional shot of these cities. There's no difference in them. There's a triangular structure up in the top middle to the right a bit. But it's not a pyramid, I don't think, but just look at it, folks. There, everything is north, south, east, or west direction. I can't say anything more. Everywhere I looked, everything had that north, south, east, west directional look. You've got to remember, these photos are taken at an elevation of 1 kilometre, right? And that's where I'm taking the photos from 1 kilometre, so that you can see the structure. If you zoom in on them, you'll see even better shots of the buildings, and you will see them. What I'll do, I might take some more shots and do a second video of them, but I'd sooner show you this and let you go and have a look at it for yourself, because you can see the buildings. You can see it's a city structure. It's got streets. It's got buildings all over the place. It's got external things that look like farms. We're not being shown the truth. What we need to know is the truth, folks. We have the legal right to know the truth. We are a civilization now that understands that there could be life out there. We are smart enough to know that there's life out there. We are smart enough to know that only idiots would believe that we are alone in the universe. From our knowledge that we have gained over the centuries, and the understanding and the wisdom that mankind has learned over the years. Okay, there's a zoomed in shot. I actually didn't realise I'd already done it, folks. You can see what I mean, that square structure. You can even see lights. Now, what what I'm saying, folks, it's time for disclosure. In every single country, we have a legal right to disclosure, folks, and it's about damn well time that they come forward with the truth. So what? There's life out there. There's life out there. God, there's life on Earth. And the politicians are the idiots because they think that we're dumb enough to continually to believe their crap trap that we are alone in the universe. For God's sake, all you idiot politicians, come clean. We have the legal right to know, and we're going to constantly harass the governments until we get our legal right fulfilled, because we have that right to have the disclosure. We have the right to have the disclosure now, not in 6 months, not in 2 years. We have that right to disclosure today, tomorrow, next week, 5 minutes time. Give us the disclosure. Tell us the bloody truth so that then we all as a planet can reach out to our fellow beings on another world and say hi globally so that they can see that we are truly saying hi. They're saying hi with us with crop circles. And we know that they are. It's the same as that one, the image of the alien near the telescope, and he's holding the disc. What he's holding is the Voyager disc. He's holding the disc out of the Voyager spacecraft saying, we got your message. And we have never replied back properly. What are we? We are pawns. Our governments are treating us like mushrooms. They're trying to keep us in the dark. Well, we're not mushrooms. We are people. We have legal rights. And it's time this world started standing up and calling out for those legal rights, for disclosure. Get up off your backsides and say something. We want disclosure. We want disclosure now. We don't want it next week. It's time for disclosure. Give it to us, and give it to us now.